So, okay, this one is like I didn't think this through much. I just feel like I really wanted to talk about it and I didn't have nobody else to talk to. So here am I talking to myself. Um, yeah, this is coming very stream of consciousness. I don't really know. Well, I know that this has a point. I've literally figured out the point right before I decided to record it. And the point of this video is the conversation I've been having with myself about, or the realization that I'm having about discovering new emotions and like discovering new emotions within myself. So, I've been sad. Like I've been just crying a lot, and I'm pretty emotional. Like I am an emotional person. Um, I think I cry, you know, normal amounts, but I've been crying a lot. Like just really sad, right? And so obviously like sadness is not a new emotion, but what I'm feeling is like this feeling of sadness mixed with positivity, you know, whatever, because I feel like up until this point in my life I've always felt like sadness that was like painful, but what I've been feeling lately is like it is sadness, and it's like this deep longing. Well, I mean, like, I think from the last video, it's pretty clear. Like basically, this relationship that I was in ended. Not like we broke up; we were just dating, but it ended or whatever. And yeah, man, like it has really been putting me through the ringer, like in a way that I wasn't expecting. And I guess that's the whole point. I've never actually done that before, so I don't really know what I was expecting. And I guess I was expecting it to be like previous relationships that ended, and I've never been in a relationship. So when I say, or a girlfriend boyfriend, so when I say relationship, I mean like situationships, you know, friendships, things like that, not like romantic relationships. Anyways, so this particular time was the first time that I felt like genuine love from somebody, and to have it end as a consequence of my own actions has really just been putting me in such a mind-boggling space. Like I literally will be just doing something very regular and just out of the blue just start crying because of this overwhelming sense of just emotions. And at the same time, it's not like this, it is sad, it's heavy, but it's also these moments of like I'll be crying and like laughing and smiling in the same sense, because I'm just like remembering all these like really beautiful moments. But I guess the point of this video is just literally just to say out loud that I've been sad, and I just been crying so much. Like yesterday, like I was crying so I literally cried myself to sleep. Like it was just so much. And I've been listening to Giveon's album, and boy, let me tell you, albums never like make more sense until you're like going through that. And so one of his songs, like Vanish, where he's talking about, where he says saying things you don't mean to the one who means the world to you, and it's just like feel that feel that. And then I also was listening to the Control album by SZA. Just always, I don't know, like that album is just that album is just really emotional to me. Like I always cry when I hear that album. But yeah, I mean, I guess, and it's also, it's this thing about getting older, and like when, you know, the SZA album 20 somethings, it's like that thing about like you're getting older, so you have to have like healthier habits. And I think I talked about this in another video where like, you know, my natural inclination is to like try so hard, and it's like, and I've been questioning myself as I'm like discovering these new emotions, or discovering this new terrain of my emotions, of like, why do I try so hard for things like I like in this specific situation, like, why is it that after I lose said person, am I then trying so hard, and like, why did that have to be the wake up call that I needed just to express myself? And I was crying last night, not only because of the situation, but also just all of the situations that I feel like I never really cried about. And like, I was really like asking myself like why people in my past just like didn't want me, or like, and like all the guys that I liked that never liked me back, and like the friends who just like decided they didn't want to be friends with me anymore, or like whatever. And it triggers this like why wasn't I good enough thing. And I think that all those different situations sometimes, or kind of led up to me not, I don't know, like, why I have to feel like I have to work really hard to get people to stay with me, but then when someone's actually with me, I don't really know how to handle that. Like, and I really think it's because all my life I've always been just working hard to get someone else. But then when I have them, I'm like, I don't know what to do with this, because I've never been in this position of just enjoy what you have. And so I've been really working through that, because it's just like, I think that, like, now that I'm in my middle part of my 20 somethings, it's just like, I think that was what was really, it's a weird terrain, because like, I'm happy to know that like I'm not beating myself up. So I know that there's growth there, where like before this would have happened to me and I would have been, woe is me, I'm so awful, blah blah blah. But this experience has been like, I don't want to do this again. Like, I'm like, the thing about me is I'm a quick study. And I'm like, I don't want to be in this space anymore. I don't want to have to experience this again. And it's like, I know I want to be in love. I experienced a very small dose of what love in a romantic sense can be. And I was like, I absolutely want to feel the full scope of that. Like, I want that for my life. And so, yeah, like, these moments are like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. And I've been really like, Andrea, you gotta grow. Like, you have to let go of all those things that are hindering you from getting the love that you want. And I don't know, like, it makes me happy. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like happy sadness, because I'm like, one, I know from, even though that experience with that guy is over, like, it opened up this part of me of like, that's possible for me. And I think that's a really beautiful thing to know, that like, love in my life is possible, even if I didn't get to experience for a long time, that it's possible for me. And like, I can have that, and I can say that I want that. And so it's like I don't want to make these same mistakes again, essentially. Like, I won't, like, I don't want to do this again. And like I was saying, sorry, I lost my train of thought about the 20 somethings, is that being 25 is also like, you can't, well, I'm not still relying on my age, like, oh, I'll get it eventually. And I'm proud of myself of like, now granted, I still did it. I still was trying, even when someone was like, I want you to just give me space and like leave me alone. I was still trying to like figure out a way to like work around that. Now granted, it only took me a month and a half to get to the space of like, just let it go. Like, don't talk to this person, separate the ties, just move on, like, and I'm proud of myself, because before it would took me like a year to like really be like, okay, I'm gonna let it go. 2 years, right? But it took me a couple months. So I'm like, there's growth in that. And I always go back to the Vibrate Higher Daily book, where she's like, be cognizant of your growth, because I think sometimes we can be so focused on what's happening that we don't see the bigger picture, and that we've really actually grown. So I know I've grown in that sense, and I'm proud that it's not taken me years to learn lessons. And I was listening to Tab and Chance say something the other day of like, you go through things in your life, and each time it may be different, but you learn something each time. And so you kind of get better at it each time you go through it or whatever. And I think that's what's happening. Of like, I'm not beating myself up. I'm not beating myself up, but I am taking accountability for my own actions. I'm really questioning why I did what I did, and why I essentially, like Giveon said things that I didn't mean to a person who really, really meant the world to me and I really, really did love. And why I'm so like questioning like why I'm standing in my way, like, and not only questioning it, but like really saying to myself like, what am I gonna do about that? And I honestly feel like a lot of the stuff that I need to do is letting, like, I continuously say this, is letting go of old narratives of myself. And also I think saying to myself that I want love, that I can have that being in love is something that I can experience and that I will experience. And I feel like, you know, the next time, I don't know if there's going to be a next time, but I hope there's a next time, that I'll be better. And I won't be so reserved and hesitant to say how I really feel about somebody. And this is another thing that I feel like I got from yesterday, like while I was like bawling my eyes out. Listening to the Control album, and even like the Control album, like I like literally cemented that in my brain of just like control. And I think my whole life I've always had this like want to be controlled and composed, because I think the truth is I'm a very, like, internally I feel very uncomposed and just like I feel so all over the place internally, and I work so hard to keep it together, which is why I'm always like, I need to be controlled and composed, and why I have such a weird thing with expressing my emotions, because I'm like, I feel internally I am way too much, and I work so hard to keep that contained, right? And I think that over this last couple of like months, and like specifically last night, what was brought to me, or like what God brought in my spirit, was the difference between control and balance. And I think my whole life I've romanticized control and composure, and what I really need is balance. You know, like, if you love someone, like, express that to them. And I have this one of my book club for my bookies or whatever, she said something like a couple of meetings ago, where she was like, you know, you want to learn how to be in love without being dumb in love. And I feel like what she was saying had nothing to do with control. Like, it had nothing to do with composure. It had everything to do with balance. It's like, when you're in love, be in love. Like, fully express that, but, like, you don't have to be losing yourself in it. And that's balance, but that's not control. Like, that's not trying to control a situation. That's not trying to control your emotions. That's not trying to hold back. That's just learning how to be balanced. You know, like, if you want to cry, then cry. Obviously, you know, get up and go on with your life, but that's balance. That's not like controlling things. And I think that sometimes I can be such a, like, I don't think I'm a control freak, but I can be so, like, I feel like I need to have control over things, because I feel like I'm so afraid of just walking into the abyss and walking into the unknown. And like, love is literally unknown. Like, you do your best, but like, there's a certain level of uncertainty that it has. And for somebody who is such a planner and so like, this is how it's supposed to go, like, it doesn't work like that. And there was also a line from a song that was like talking about, who was it? Was it Teddy Pendergrass? I don't know. But he has a line of song, I think it is Teddy Pendergrass, Love TKO, where he says, you know, I tried to take control of the love, but the love took control of me. I'm telling you, I'm like, these songs, I be listening to these lyrics, I be like, y'all was experiencing what I was experiencing. Y'all feel me. Anyways, so, yeah, like, that's pretty much what's been going on. And I just wanted to like come on and talk about that, because, bro, and even like trying to, you know, respect somebody enough to respect their boundaries, and just like And like it's harder because, and that's even the other thing, like the last time I dealt with this, like a dude like blocked me, and so I like couldn't talk to him, whatever. And this time, like this guy like hasn't blocked me or whatever, but it's so hard to just like it has been hard. And so like I got through a week, right? And in my mind I'm like, oh my god, girl, why are you celebrating a week? That's not, you got weeks to like however long, you know, or whatever. But again, not control, balance. Like it's okay to be like, I made it through a week of not contacting this person, and that was freaking hard, and I can say good job without being like, why are you congratulating yourself for this small, like, come on, control yourself, you should not want to talk to him, like. And it's like, okay, but I do. Like, I am not going to, but that doesn't take away the fact that I do. And I do, like, and it's, and I think that sometimes I'm just like cringing at myself to be like, I miss him, like I just the amount of like sadness I feel for how much I miss him is just like, you know. And like before I would be like, don't miss him, don't say that, like why do you feel that way, that's dumb, you know. And I think I've been working on balance of like, I've been sad for sure. I've also, you know, had really good moments of just like, man, I remember when we did this, and, you know, I smile and I'm like, that was really great, you know. And, you know, I remember it was funny because like he was like always say like, you said that, you know, if this never worked out, that you would still be happy for the times that we had and whatever. And I don't know, like I guess I've been trying to find the space in which that's true, you know. Like even though I want us to be together, when I look back on it, I really do, like I really do cherish that time, because like I said, that was, I don't know, like that was my first experience with love, you know. Like that was my first experience of what love in a romantic sense could be. And I can always say, like, he was so doting, like he's such a doting person, and I was just like, I've never, like, he was such a, you know. And even in that space, like I was learning new terrains of myself. And so I don't know, I guess this is, girl, cheers to learning more. Why is this almost 20 minutes? Anyways, other girl, this is just cheers to discovering new emotions, discovering new terrain of yourself. Keep letting yourself do that, I guess, and work on balance, not control. Let go of romanticizing this thing about control and composure, because that's not working, and that's not going to get you the love that you want. Yeah, girl, so I love you, and yeah, peace out.